Today, we are diving into perfectionism, self-sabotage, and the cycles of avoidance. And I'm going to squeeze in there procrastination because it definitely needs to be included in this little trio of goodness. Now, every month, I run a soul healing webinar where we look at these patterns and behaviors. So, I've done one on boundaries and burnout and busyness and shyness and a fear of being seen. And this month is all about why we get stuck. And it's very close to my heart, this one, because like I'm sure many of you watching this, do tend to get stuck in self-sabotage, and it's very sneaky and it just creeps in. So today we're going to be looking at these behaviors, the hidden emotions that are running under the surface of them, as well as the energetic imprint within the soul contract that is one of the root causes of these beautiful behaviors. And what I always say is we are not judging ourselves for having them. There is no shame for operating in a certain way. But what we can do is make the choice to come into awareness and have the courage to lean into and look at the parts of ourselves that we are wanting to improve and integrate into a softer and more powerful way of being. So, if you're new here, my name's Antonia, and I love to help people get a deeper understanding of themselves and the hidden subconscious beliefs and programmings and conditioning happening under the surface of their reality, which is driving their life. Because once we have awareness of what's going on under the surface, we can bring healing to it, we can bring compassion to it, and then we can release it and integrate it so that we can move forward in a much more balanced, aligned, grounded, happier, more joyful way of being. In a snapshot, that's what I do. And I do this work through understanding the soul contract and lots of healing to integrate. And then I do light body, which is a wild thing of its own, which is all about remembering and awakening. So that's the path of how people work with me. So today we're going to dive into these little meaty topics, and we're going to start with I've forgotten what we're doing. Perfectionism. Now, if I was being too perfectionist, I would go in and I would edit this video and be like, oh, I can't have any humanity, any normalness in this. I have to be perfect. And I don't, because there's no such thing. And if you have a 10-1 in your soul contract, I don't, so I don't resonate with this, but my parents do. Now, if your family, if you don't have a particular soul contract energy, your family can imprint theirs on you. We carry our parents' karma, our partner's karma, and it all gets passed down the ancestral line for us to work with it in this lifetime. So I don't have this energy, but if I did, it would feel a little bit like it has to be perfect. I have to get it right. And I know a lot of people with this 10-1 energy, especially in a karmic goal or soul destiny position, where they are wanting to be of service. And it's a beautiful energy. It's a masculine expression of God coming down. But they are ultimately here to soften into compassion out of self-judgment within themselves, and to recognize that there is a strong belief within them of I have to work hard. It has to be hard work. And if you have a 21-3 in your soul contract as well, then that's a double whammy of I have to do it the hard way. It has to be the hard way, the challenging way, the tough way. And it's very, very strong. And ultimately, people with 10-1s are beautiful channels, but they are ultimately here to reconcile the masculine expression within themselves, and the 13-4 is the feminine expression in this work, and soften out of perfectionism and the hard work mentality and the warrior mentality. I've got to protect, I've got to be strong, I've got to do it right, and soften out of that. That's a really, really big thing with perfectionism. Now, another way that we get a little bit stuck is if we're overthinkers. I am an overthinker. And what this means is we get stuck in how it should be, in how it could be, which is a form of perfectionism and a form of control. The key energies I associate with this are the 5s, big imaginations, big thinkers. The sevens, who are wanting to control situations in order to stay safe. That's a big theme with the sevens. And then we got the eights, and the eights are very much wanting to overthink it all and not drop into the body where the feeling is. So they'll stay out of the feelings, they don't want to go into their feelings. I've got eights, and they will stay in the mind where it feels, again, safer and easier to navigate. And then we need to talk about the six energy, because the sixes are very much the scattered, burnout, and the 12 threes as well. Scattered, burnout, wanting to do it all. And what I often share with people who have sixes in their chart is they often are spinning lots of different plates because they're so connected to source. They're so divinely creative. They have such an essence of creativity within them that they will try and create and try and manifest and try and do it all, but they will burn themselves out or go into isolation in order to try and finish something, or get stuck in any kind of addictive process in order to finish it, or an addictive process in order to numb the frustration and the anger that they're not able to do what they set out to do or achieve. And I've done a video about addiction. If you have sixes, nines, and 12 threes, you're a little bit more susceptible. And I go into that in the video of why that comes through with those particular numbers. And with the sixes and 12 threes and nines, a lot of the theme is the burnout, big energy theme. So sixes can get very, very stuck. And they also have this kind of mindset of it needs to look this way. It has to look this way. It's quite rigid. It's almost like blinkers of what it should be and what I want it to be. And it can't deviate outside of that. So if we're trying to do something and we notice, oh wait, I'm trying to make it perfect, or I'm overthinking it, or I'm trying to control it too much, or I'm trying to meet those inner expectations, or maybe outer expectations from family, parents, society, God, then this is where we get stuck in procrastination. We don't do what we need to do. And that's where avoidance comes in. We avoid the pain and the feelings of not having achieved what we want to achieve, not having done the thing we set out to do. And there can be a lot of fear with procrastination. It's nothing to do with laziness. Procrastination is ultimately this fear of what if? What if I succeed? What if I fail? And a lot of people think, oh yeah, I've got a fear of failure. But do you also have a fear of success? Because that's what I have. So we will procrastinate. I don't want to do it because I'm actually scared of what may happen if I do. And the other reason we procrastinate is when we don't know how to do something. And again, here are where the fives and the eights and the sevens come in again. The fives will overthink, and they can really struggle to ground their big imagination down. They can really struggle to make it manifest. That's the issue with the fives. The sevens will be stuck in indecisiveness. I could do it this way, I could do it that way. I don't know which way to do it. I can't trust that inner voice of authority, so I shall do nothing. And that is the sevens. And then the eights will tend to overthink it and overanalyze it. And all of these energies will just get either really overwhelmed, stuck in fear, trying to control it, not know how to do it. The sixes as well, a lot of anger. Oh, I want to do it, but I can't. And all of that will lead into procrastination. And then off the back of that, there's that guilt and that shame and all those feelings of, oh my God, I had it in me, but I couldn't do it. And I haven't met those expectations. And it can really pivot us down into a cycle of that shame and that sense of, I'm not good enough. And it can really just poke that wound. And then self-sabotage. This is self-sabotage comes from a variety of reasons. It's not really linked to a particular soul contract energy, but it affects everyone. And within each soul contract energy, there will be a very unique self-sabotage associated with it. You know, A really good example is threes with money. Threes will stay unconscious with their money and their finances as a form of self sabotage to stay in a poverty consciousness, because that is the big theme within the three. It's abundance, poverty consciousness, and self worth, which are all interlinked. One mirrors the other. Our self worth mirrors our ability to be abundant. Same with the fours. So each, and I'm going to maybe write a blog post about this, each soul contract energy, each person, their self sabotage is very unique. And in the healing work that I do, there is a whole healing process around identifying what the self sabotage is, because we may not be conscious of it. We know something's off. We know something's happening in the background that's stopping us from doing the thing we want to do, but we don't know what it is. We don't know how to get there, and we cannot pull it up and out of the dark recesses of our subconscious to make it clear, make it visible, and bring it out into the light where we can see it, feel it, and release it. That's how we do it. It's like fishing in the subconscious. So this is everything I'm going to be going into in a lot more depth in the live workshop I'm running on the 22nd of April 2026. And if you miss it, I will put the recording out there, but you can sign up. All the link is below to join that. And if you can't make it, then I hope this resonates in some way. I put everything about the soul contract and all the resources just in the description. And I think I'm done. So until next time, I wish you a very beautiful rest of your day.